Hi, Anaya here. Today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about cold exposure. So, cold exposure has become quite a popular thing to do. There are a lot of different reasons why. It can help regulate the nervous system or dysregulate. It can enhance immune function, reduce inflammation, increase metabolism, can increase our cognitive performance and reduce anxiety, can enhance mood, and it can help the muscles to recover. If you have chronic fatigue, then you may have heard about the influence that it can have on the nervous system, and you might have been thinking about whether this would work for you. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about that. First of all, cold exposure can look a whole lot of different ways. It could be literally drinking a glass of cold water. It could be diving into a freezing cold glacial lake. It could be turning the shower on cold for 30 seconds at the end of your shower. It could be splashing your face with cold water, putting a cold towel on your back of your neck, all sorts of different things. So that's important to keep in mind. So when we talk about cold exposure, when we're jumping into enough cold water for your body to have a survival response where it goes, ah. Okay, so when this happens, eventually your sympathetic nervous system activates and part of you feels like it's dying. So that's your survival instinct. That is your sympathetic response. And the challenge of the cold exposure is to then calm your body, override that natural response, and get your regulation back. So, telling your body everything's okay, managing to get your breathing back so that you can be in a calm and composed state. So in that respect, when you learn to do that, that's a great skill. And this is a skill that we are trying to develop with chronic fatigue. It's essential because your nervous system will be dysregulated. And so we want to be able to regulate our own nervous systems. And so that's why people are drawn to cold exposure. However, if your body is already massively activated, jumping into cold water is probably going to have more of a dysregulatory effect. This is especially true if you do not have any experience with cold exposure before and that you haven't yet learnt that skill of overriding that sympathetic survival response and calming your body down. Okay, so for me personally, I used cold exposure every day as part of my daily routine. The last sort of 30 seconds of my shower, I would turn the shower on cold, and what I would do is, rather than breathing, sometimes I did start trying various breathing techniques to help just calm that response, but what I found more effective was actually singing. So I would, and I still do, sing a song from Greece, I got chills, they're multiplying, because when we're doing that, we are taking those deep diaphragmatic breaths that calm our body down. Now, I had a lot of experience swimming in cold water and being in cold water, so I had already learnt to calm my system down, and that's why it was appropriate and okay and beneficial for me. If that is not you, then I would suggest to you and encourage you to probably not do it. I would encourage you, if you want to have a bit of a go, is to start small. And by that, I mean noticing what's going on in your body, taking a sip of cold water, okay? If there's no response there, you could put some ice cubes in it, make it really cold. So start with where you are at and be really honest with yourself where you are at. So you could start with the cold water, you could move to the cold on the face, the cold flannel, could, dip your toe in, all these different ways of gradually and slowly training your body to be okay with varying degrees of cold exposure. If in doubt, leave it out, right? If it doesn't work for you, don't do it. Sometimes it might not work for you now, but if you try it again in a couple of months, it might work for you then. So that's really important as well. So just notice what's going on in your body, notice how it feels. Notice if you feel like you're pushing yourself, then back off, because we all know that the harder you push, the harder it can push back. So just be really gentle, kind, and caring, and see how it goes. If there's anything else that you want to know, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. Okay, see you later.